You don't just wake up and have a great marriage. You're intentional about creating a great marriage.
When I do that, I do realize things are important. That my relationship with the Lord is very intentional.
And sometimes you got to step off the track of life to
That's
be
what I mean
still
by
long
backing
enough.
up, get a different
just
perspective.
be still long enough to see that and to know what's really important.
My wife, my parenting, all of that is something
your kids, your family.
Got to make sure that even though it gets tedious and tiring,
it's difficult,
I stay at it. I just keep on keeping on.
Yes.
Even when you don't see results that you think you should see in the moment, just know this: at the due season, at due time, at the appointed time, you're going to reap from that. You just keep sowing the seed. Your home, it matters. You're there to make a difference.
Well, welcome to Home Matters. We're a few days past Easter Sunday, and we're dressed in black. You pointed that out a minute ago. But my shirt says he chose me, so I'm still celebrating Easter.
I chose my shirt before you chose your shirt. So again,
whatever.
I was first in line. We're so glad you joined us.
You chose black the week after Easter.
Well, again, it's our marriage shirt.
I like your shirt.
It's our Unless the Lord Builds the House shirt.
I like it.
These are on sale for $39.99. By the way, not really. We ought to have a store like that. Why don't we have a store for Home Matters?
Well, we do at our events, but we don't have an online store.
Yeah, I love this shirt.
Our team that helps us, since they don't have enough to do, maybe we can get our team that helps us to do that.
Yep. They need to do that.
Speaking of, thank you, team that helps us, right? Yeah.
Don't ever take that for granted. You know, so good that we can continue to try to serve the Lord and serve people in the Parenting Matters Conference. We've mentioned that already in past podcasts, but registration's open for that, and we want you to, we'd love for you, all of you that are parenting, or maybe even those that are moved past that maybe even grandparents, and all that stuff. We'd love for you to come be with us. A lot of different variety as far as even, how you deal with, kids,
discipline,
during adolescence, discipline, phones, some cyber stuff that we're going to cover.
Internet stuff, excited about that.
Coming in and do some of that. So, again, we'd love to have you register. Go to homematters.family. Or you can go to the church website, beachsprings.org. It's BEECH, like a beach tree, not like the ocean beach. So.
That's right. I would like to go to the ocean beach.
Yeah, I would too. We talked last time, and we were talking about this thing of taking our game up.
That's right, leveling up.
We're talking about leveling it up, taking it up a level.
Going to another level.
A level. We're going to carry it up a level, and I just, as we were finishing there, we're talking about something that we're big on, the word that we throw around a lot.
Use it all the time.
Yeah, and with purpose and with intention.
That's right.
What's the word?
Intentionality.
Yep. And
that's right.
So we're intentional about being intentional. And
and that's not just a play on words. That is the absolute truth. And we believe that is key to your life, and in whatever area you're talking about.
I think in marriage, if you're not intentional.
True.
We say it this way a lot of times. It's attention. It takes our attention, but that means just being intentional about your relationship, just like you were before you got married.
That's right.
Always amazes me. I just feel like I'm just lose it here. Always amazes me how people can be so intentional about this person they're in love with before they're married, and dadgummit.
Dadgummit?
That's a Christian cuss word.
Okay.
After the I do's,
things change.
Man, they're not intentional about nothing. They forget birthdays, or they forget good mornings.
Don't you do it.
I love yous, or the kissing.
Good night.
It's just that we're not intentional, and then we wake up one day and wonder what happened, and it's like, dear,
I feel like you're aggravated
Lord
about that.
help us. I am a little bit. I'm just saying that, and I know what it's like to fall in that trap. That's maybe one reason I am aggravated.
That's why we talk about it so much. We know what it's like not to be intentional, but man, the difference it makes in your life.
Sleepwalking through life and sleepwalking through Marriage. Yeah, sleepwalking through parenting.
Through parenting.
Oh, my goodness.
Sleepwalking through everything about your life. I mean, people do it.
Quiet down.
I'm trying to calm you down just a little bit.
I just get fired up about it because, again, I just believe that everybody can take it up.
Well, you see it all the time. Including us.
Listen, including you.
Always,
You
including
can level up your game.
Including me. And I'm just waiting on him.
Being more intentional and take more initiative.
Isn't that what people do?
Yeah, they do.
We wait on each other. But we say it this way, who will be the hero? I mean, somebody do something different. Be intentional again or for the first time. But that's kind of where we left off last time. We were talking about leveling up as a family, leveling up in our faith, our relationship with Jesus, which overflows into everything, and then making sure, about to spit that out, that you're intentional about doing those things, because to level up, it doesn't just happen. We say that with marriage too. You don't just wake up and have a great marriage. You're intentional about creating a great marriage, right? Yeah,
and it's just a thing that life can get kind of just kind of grueling sometimes.
That's right.
Tiring.
Busy, tiring.
And it's
you
easy.
You just get tired of doing and tired of being and tired of being tired.
I was talking to some guys the other day. It's the cry, the urgency about all of our lives, and it's a lot of things that are crying out for our attention. So that really don't need that much attention that all of a sudden becomes, urgent. And it is something that we have to deal with on a regular on our daily life, and find that in that there is a place that I can back up, take a better perspective, or get a better look at life. And when I do that, I do realize things are important. That my relationship with the Lord is very intentional.
And sometimes you got to step off the track of life to
That's
be
what I mean
still
by
long
backing
enough.
up. Get a
just be still long enough to see that and to know what's really important.
My wife, my parenting, all of that is something.
Your kids, your family.
Got to make sure that even though it gets tedious and tiring,
gets difficult,
I stay at it. I just keep on keeping on, like Saints used to say. I keep on.
I mean, you keep loving, you keep forgiving, you keep leading, you keep submitting, you keep serving. I mean, you keep disciplining kids. I mean, you gotta, parents, I know, listen, it can become overwhelming. You just keep, you said it earlier, I think, you just keep showing up. You just keep doing the things. And man, Galatians 6:9. Don't you love the promise there?
Yeah, don't grow weary in well-doing.
Just keep on, because why?
Yeah, because in due season you'll reap if you won't faint, and that.
Yeah, you will see the results.
That is a truth to our lives. But again, what we're saying is this thing you may be worn out right now, and I believe that the Lord wants you to know you just keep on. Yes. Even when you don't see results that you think you should see in the moment, just know this and see in the at the due season, at the due time, at the appointed time. You're going to reap from that. You just keep sowing the seed. A farmer goes out and plants a seed, and he just tends what he knows to do, keeps it weeded, keeps it watered, keeps it refreshed, because, it's something that he just continues to do when he don't see anything.
That's right.
Then finally, one day, he walks out, and there's that shoot, there's that sprout that finally has broken through the soil, and he knows that there's going to be fruit coming forward from it. And I just think that's the way we have to do with life sometimes. We just have to keep tending the garden. We just have to keep doing the things we know we should be doing, even when we don't see the immediate effects of the immediate rewards. We keep doing it, knowing in due season we will reap. We will get a harvest.
And just like in that harvest, I mean, God's the one that supplies the sunlight, right? The rain, all the things that it needs. He supplies the grace and the energy that you need in your life to get the task done. Because it is a task sometimes, raising kids and, keeping family on track. But what a promise we have. We will reap. And I was thinking, I know we've raised 4 kids, and I mean, when you're in the grind of that sometime and you just repeating yourself over and over, and you think, they're not listening to me.
I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to say it again. I'm not going to say it again.
And you keep saying it again.
I'm not going to, keep on.
The repeated,
but that can wear you down.
It wears you completely out. But what I was going to say is, I do remember as well, now that we're on this side of it, thinking and even saying to you several times, like, they got it. Like, when they get older and you see how they respond to something, or you see what they're doing in their life, you see the fruit being born in their life. Man, when you stand back, that's the reaping in the due season. When you can stand back and say, man, it did work. They did hear me. So, and maybe they're just some young families need encouraging. Maybe a husband, maybe a wife. You just need encouraging today to know. I think you just keep doing what you know to do.
I think for that to happen too, you got to let the past go. And I think a lot of people just say, well, it's just my lot in life, and this is just the way it is. And especially, when you feel like you've disappointed, the people you love the most, you've disappointed the Lord, and you're not doing it. You just that's where just that condemnation kind of creeps in. If you're worn out, I just encourage you. You're not the first person to be worn out.
Isn't that the truth?
And you know what? If you've given up before, you're not the first one. If you've gone to sleep at the wheel before, you're not the first one. I always remember Jesus. He's going to crucifixion, and he's praying in the garden. He's asking his disciples, would you pray with me? And you know what they do?
They go to sleep. Yeah.
I always encourage people, if you think, you struggle with your prayer life, just remember those closest to Jesus in the flesh that walk with him. I just encourage you to know that, they went to sleep on him. So if you're struggling, just get up and do it again.
In a time when he needed them.
Yeah, keep on. And that's what we're saying. Just be intentional about where you are and where you're at in your marriage, where you're at in parenting.
Yes.
Again, let your faith interact with who you are and just every day, because life can be tiring. It can be exhausting.
It will absolutely be exhausting.
We know that as much as anybody.
And that comes back again. You get past a tired spell, you get past an exhausted spell, and you think, man, we're making progress, we're moving along.
Get refreshed again.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, what happened? I need to lay down on this parenting thing, or even on this marriage. You just, it's tiring. But listen, the promise, you can stand on the promise that if you'll just keep doing what you know to do.
Yeah, you have to.
You're going to reap the benefit.
Yeah, you do have to be careful of the places that you get. You have to keep things in check. Or people that can keep you accountable when you get a case of I don't cares.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. You
the
can get tired.
I don't cares.
And you can get tired, and it just don't even matter. And that's
it's a dangerous place to be.
Dangerous place. But again, you got to keep. That's where you are intentional about connections and friends.
Intentional about your faith.
And even with each other, I think that you have to do that, especially in marriage, because it can be so exhausting. This little quote we use sometime, I think it's a great quote. Mark Batterson, National Community Church in Washington, D.C., he made this statement that kind of stuck with us through the years.
Yeah, I'm always reminded of it, and especially talking about this. Heeding a little prompting today can have a huge net effect tomorrow.
Yep.
Kind of just goes along with the Galatians passage, really. If we just keep doing what we know to do, heed the voice. And as a believer, we talked, I think, last time about the power of the Holy Spirit in our life and allowing him to lead and guide and speak to us. Man, he will. If you'll just listen, he will give you a heeding call when you need one, right? I know he's done that in my own life. You listen to him, or maybe it's just a change that has come to your mind today as you've been listening, some things you can do better. If you will heed that and not just shut the door on it, just begin to act, maybe one change, one thing, man, you'll begin to see some results that maybe you didn't even expect.
Yeah, I think as far as, the little things along the way, it is those little things that can add up to the greater days,
Yes.
But I know that it is difficult for many times in life. It's difficult for us to to see that just heeding a little prompting, just a little something.
We want everything to change for the better today.
And we want it to be bold, and we want it to be beautiful.
Right.
But it is those small little things in life that add up to such big rewards. And so again, I hope we encourage people. I do. I kind of get frustrated and fired up and aggravated about this stuff because I've seen it in my own life. And I know that if it's happened with me, it probably happens. There's another guy out there listening right now that that, man, I just am kind of spent right now. And I don't feel like going home and taking the extra time with my children or taking the extra time with my wife. Just a little prompting, man, may make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Dealing with a situation recently, and I'm thinking, man, you're going to lose your whole family. You're going to lose the future. You're going to lose your fatherhood. You're going to lose everything just because you won't listen just a little and make a few course corrections and do the things intentional that you need to do. And again, I think that anybody can be subject to that.
Absolutely. And, I think when you think you can't be, you are really in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a trap that the enemy tries to kind of set for us that we see over and over again. So, again, the overall theme we've been in, we're going to go back to one more time, I think, is leveling up. And as we continue with that next time, any kind of closing remarks for today?
Yeah, I think that as we look forward, we can bring that scripture in again in James. I think we shared it either maybe at the beginning of the podcast or maybe it was even last time when we were talking about being intentional. If there are things that we know to do and we just refuse to do them, I mean, the word's clear about what that is. That's sin in our life. And Eric said it, just one thing that we can change. One new attitude today or one just affectionate move. I mean, one time where we just stop and, listen to our kid that may be driving us crazy, that we just stop. Just one thing. Let's just make sure that whatever that hating is in our life, that we listen.
If somebody could go back, if they're not far away, then they can do this and made a list of the things they were intentional about and showing love to their spouse before they got married.
Yep, that's good.
And if they could make a list, they'd probably come up with several things. If it's nothing else but, I fix my hair or brush my teeth or, there are all kinds of things you were intentional about that now, after you're married, that you've just kind of let go. And you say, well, what happened? That's what happened.
You just stopped doing it, right?
You were very intentional about this person you're in love with. And, you look at it now and say, well, what happened there? You just are not intentional anymore.
Yeah.
You're just kind of floating.
Don't wait. Don't wait. We say this all the time too. Who'll be the hero? I mean, we wait on one another. Well, I would if he would, or I would if she would, or, I don't want to lay down my pride, and say, okay, maybe I can do better, because you want them to think they're the problem. If they would just do better, right? But man, take the first step. You don't know what floodgate you could open up of love in your life, of romance again in your life as a couple, right?
Just taking the initiative, right?
Yeah,
just a little prompting, just a little. I know that we're going to come back to this thought one more time, but we hope that today, maybe you've been provoked a little. We hope that maybe you've been stirred.
We aggravated you a little.
Yeah, and if it has, then that's a good thing. Go make your home, make it better. Do it intentionally. You say, well, I don't know how. Just a little thing.
Little things.
Just start somewhere. Don't complicate it. Simplify it and start somewhere and let God show up in your life and do some great things. He will do it,
won't he? He will show up.
Yeah, as we're closing today, remember one more time, Parenting Matters, that Parenting Matters meeting is coming up, that conference we're doing. Love to have you come be with us.
Absolutely.
Share it with your friends and family too, and the podcast.
Yeah, it's
Share this
open
with
to
others.
Anyone. Parenting, single parents.
This is going to
even
sound
if you don't have parents.
It's going to sound kind of arrogant, kind of cocky, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Right.
Share this podcast, because I know that what we talked about today, if you don't share any other, share this one. if you'll share this with somebody needs to hear what we're saying.
Yeah.
And again, I just believe that if you don't, hey, you know to do it, don't do it, it's sin. So again, get after it and let's see God change our family.
Man, we love you so much.
Yeah.
We are excited about what God's going to do at your house. You hadn't even dreamed of it yet.
Because
your home matters.
Always, it matters.
See you next time.
Bye.